zero if I could.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Zero If I Could, where comedians discuss absurd reviews. My name is Raul Zambrano,
I'm Brittany Hersbrun.
I'm Jake Disherin.
and with us is our guest for this episode, Joe Grillo. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
All right, now you can talk. Now allow it.
Yeah, you're allowed.
You're allowed to speak
Hey,
now.
everybody.
There we go.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me
Really?
talk, by the way. I
Yeah, okay, no
appreciate
problem.
that.
Yeah, really big build
That
up
was-
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
you were extra cautious because Raul usually warns the guests. A little peek
Yeah.
behind the curtain here.
I don't know if you guys felt that, but my internet is dropping in and out, so it just went away for a second. So I was like,
Oh, I
Maybe
thought.
that's what happened.
Yeah, I think that
we
is
all
what
just
happened.
thought you were taking a dramatic pause.
really? No, I couldn't see you guys at all. So if I just stare blankly at the screen, I'm not even there.
That is the perfect excuse to not say much on a podcast.
Exactly. I'm going to use it
Yeah.
a lot.
I don't know if Raul told you, but I made up a nickname for you, and it's like a couple name, just with your own name. You know how they combine celebrity couples into one
Mhm.
name. So I've just been calling you Jolo,
Jolo?
because Joe Grillo. So yeah,
Joe,
That's pretty
you
good.
like it? Yeah.
I'm actually
Yeah.
surprised I've never heard that before.
me too, actually, because Raul thought it was very dumb, which it is, to be fair.
It is, but
That's
yeah, I
definitely
like
silly,
it.
but, you know,
It's going to
yeah,
be my
but-
new tagline on stage. Every time a joke bombs would be like, Jolo.
Oh, great. That's good. Yeah, and I said, please don't tell him that I made that up because it's so stupid. And then it was the first thing that I brought up today. So
Please don't tell
Very
him.
good.
I want to see his face when I say it.
In case he thinks it's good, you know?
Yeah.
that's true.
Well, I certainly hope this isn't the last time I hear of it.
Okay. I'm definitely never gonna stop calling you that, so it won't be.
Does anyone actually call you by your actual name? Joe's actual name is Giovanni.
Giovanni.
Does anyone actually?
Giovanni.
Maybe your parents, I guess that's who.
No, I think they were like
Not
one
even
of the
them.
first people to call me Joe. They didn't even want to call me Giovanni.
Oh, and then I do remember Raul saying that because then I was like, oh, do people call him Gigi? Because that's cute.
My
That's a
girlfriend calls
cute
me
little
Gigi.
nickname. Okay, see,
Yeah.
see, that's a cute nickname. I
Yeah,
like
she's got
that.
some. She's gonna love Jolo. I can't wait to tell her.
That's funny. So Jake, how was your life-changing trip?
You know, whatever. Nothing to talk about. Anyway, Raul, what happened to you this
see-
week?
Well, Jake is planning on moving, and actually on the last
Yes.
episode we mentioned that he was first going to Madison, and you did, and also went to Portland. And so did you nail a decision as to where you're moving next?
Yeah. It's gonna be Miami, Florida, baby.
Oh, left field
No,
there.
I'm gonna move to Portland. I was
Okay.
there for a week for the last week, and it's a great city. I don't know what to say about
Were
it.
you-
It's
Too much of a pussy for the cold? Is that what happened? You couldn't stand it after we warned you specifically.
Portland's pretty
No.
cold. You ever been up there when it's cold?
Yeah, but I mean, compared to Madison, Wisconsin, not.
yeah. I spent a week in Madison, Wisconsin in February, and that made me reassess some priorities in my life. Just about it just made me in touch with my mortality. When I went out, and it's 1 degree. It's just a single degree. Normally, you don't really think about saying degrees, but when there's only one of them, this 1 degree is very precious, very
Yeah.
important. And it's really awful to be outside in that kind of cold.
Mhm.
It gets into it hurts your eyes to be open in that level of cold. It felt like the liquid in my eyes was gonna freeze. I don't know how people do it.
That was smart though. You should visit a place when the weather's the shittiest just to see if you can handle it.
Yeah, that's what we were saying.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
to maybe go back in the summer too, because it's also pretty bad then.
When it's 2 degrees, yeah.
I'm probably not going to spend the full year researching this. I think I'm just going to go ahead and pull the trigger. But
Good for you.
I am moving mostly to escape the heat. And a lot of people that I told that to in Portland were surprised because San Diego has a reputation for having the best weather anywhere. And it is nice, but I just don't like it. I don't like it when it's hot or even
Yeah.
warm. I don't like that.
I don't really like it being warm either, but you know what? I don't think this is a weather podcast, so we should
Hey,
move
why'd you
on.
fucking ask?
I asked how
Trying to
your
fill
trip
some
was.
time. And the biggest part of my trip was how cold it was. It was so cold. All right.
And you didn't go out at all, even when you were in Portland. We got one of our best friends lives there, and we got complaints that he would never hang out with her. He was going to sleep at like 8 p.m. every night.
And she was
But I
looking
guess
to,
you
like,
want to
rage.
see how your actual life would be there. So you were just living normally, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, yes, our friend, former guest on the show, Caitlin, lives in Portland, and we hung out 3 times in the week I was there. I guess she would have preferred that we hang out every night and like just get rip roaring drunk or something, but I'm not gonna do that. And I went out every night I was there except one. I don't know where she's getting this idea. Actually, I know where she's getting it from. It's Raul, because he was slandering me the entire time I was there, even though I was saying
you're
in the
there
group
on
chat,
vacation with a friend. Go hang out, have some fun.
To, like,
you
I
know?
did. I kept saying I'm gonna do this with Caitlin. Hey, we just did this last night, and Raul's like, typical
What a
Jake, going to
piece
bed
of
at
shit.
7 p.m.
Going to
Push it
bed
earlier.
at 7:30 p.m.
Bitch, I went to a bar at a restaurant and had drink. Like I don't know how do I convince you. I have to like FaceTime him while I'm out every time.
I don't like that vacation pressure either.
Well, first of all, I
but
did
here's the
go
thing.
out. Thank you for
No,
defending me. However,
but
I
Joe,
did go out.
if you're going to decide if a new city is one you want to live in, you probably want to leave your Airbnb.
I'm the wrong person to ask about this. I'd be even more of a recluse than this guy apparently was, according to Raul.
I went out every night.
No, I really I'm the wrong person to ask too, but I'm just taking the opposite side because it's against Jake.
Yeah.
But normally, like, I've gone on vacation with Caitlin before to Vegas, and we like didn't really leave the hotel. So that.
But I mean, that's because
Stuff
you
is-
partied so hard the night previously, you know, that you. like,
Not
couldn't-
that trip.
okay.
No, that hotel, they had Netflix on the TVs there. So
Yeah, we can't do that
Can't get that
in your
at all.
hometown. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Joe,
didn't
Joe, you just came back from. Did you just come back from the road doing some road stuff?
No,
No. Why did you? I remember you had messaged me.
I don't know. Why would you? What's that on?
I remember you specifically saying you couldn't schedule the last podcast because you're like, I'm going to be on the road, unless you meant something else, or unless I misread the entire message. Isn't that
Yeah,
what
did
you
you have
said?
a dream or something that we talked about this? 'Cause I
Yeah,
don't-
okay, never mind.
No,
But you've
sorry.
never traveled to do comedy then. For some reason, I thought Chris maybe took
Joe,
you.
tell us about all of the shows you're not getting booked for on the road.
Yeah,
Name
well,
them
I
one
hear.
by one.
Yeah, the road's been great. I've heard from people. It's actually been pretty terrible, so I'm glad I'm not out there. You know, Madison, I hear, is really bad this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Yeah,
cold.
no,
Should we get into that?
I went to North Carolina somewhat recently to visit my parents, but that was about it.
Is that where you're from?
No, that's just where they live. They live to be closer to my brother, and now they regret it, and they're moving back to California literally as we speak.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're in Mississippi right now.
Yeah, North Carolina seems pretty, but I don't know. I've not.
That's pretty much all it is. There's a lot of green trees, but once you get over that, there's not really much else to do.
Did they move to be closer to your brother because your brother has kids?
Yeah, but then like the kids are all kind of older and doing their own things, so they don't really want to hang out with, grandparents.
Yeah.
So,
So I have one sister, but neither of us have kids. So our parents still like both of us equally. But all of you have a sibling that has a child, and do you feel like you get put in second tier child status now that your sibling has a kid? Like they take precedence over you always?
I mean, my brother's always been the favorite, regardless of the situation. So like that's happened, and then on top of that, now obviously his daughter is kind of like the favorite overall. But I still am getting pressure from my mom to have children. Like we were literally just watching a movie, and the protagonists are grandparents, and then she just sees the baby, like the little, the grandchild, and then she turns to me, is like, when when is that happening? When are you doing that? You know, and then I'm like, what the you already have one, and also like my brother's married. Like have them have like a second kid or something. You know, it seems like just a lot of complication. Like one, it's like I've got to find a significant other. We have
One
to
that
get
they would like, and that would be
Yeah.
like really probably not going to happen.
yeah, or one that I would like. That's pretty difficult. Or that would like me. There's a lot of
Are your
lot to it.
parents? Do you think your parents would be picky about what kind of girl you marry?
I'm just saying based on the two that they've met.
Oh,
Oh,
sure.
that's true,
Well,
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, no, I think no. I think I softened the blow because my ex girlfriends were pretty. One ex girlfriend in particular was pretty awful, and so I think that softened the blow as to the next person I date. Maybe they'll just be like, "Oh, well, at least she's not, this other person."
Fingers crossed.
Or you just keep dating terrible women and they just won't bring it up ever again,
Yeah, that's actually smart. You'd be like, I would love another grandkid, but I don't want to see that horrible woman
Yeah.
that Raul keeps getting involved with ever again.
I don't want to know the offspring that woman's going to produce.
Yeah.
My previous girlfriend did have a kid, and I remember her bringing the kid over, and just the look of my mom's face, like, oh fuck, because clearly I feel like she did not think I was ready to be a stepdad, and I knew I was not. So
I feel like not a lot of in your life has changed since then, though. So now you weren't ready to be a stepdad, but now she thinks you're ready to be a father.
I think she just feels like I'm getting old,
Yeah, so she's
She's
like,
like,
I don't really care what stage
Yeah.
of your
She's
life
like,
you're
yeah,
at.
you're still not ready, but like,
But I mean,
I mean-
TikTok, motherfucker.
I'm not going to live forever. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think
Let's
that's her
just-
stance right now.
just pull the trigger, man. It is. Yeah, it's always funny to me when parents want to pressure their kid to have kids when they're not married or like in a long-term relationship. It's like, you could pressure me to find a girl and then get married first, do that part, and then pressure me to have kids. I don't know how am I going to have kids when I could, accidentally get somebody pregnant? Is that what you would want? Would that be good to you?
You could abduct a child and just show up to your parents' house and be like, I got one. What now?
Here you go.
That's smart. Maybe I'll do that.
Perfect.
Then they can pay attention to that kid instead of me.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I kind of get it. I don't understand the desire to have kids or have a grandchildren, but I really like dogs and I have my own dog. But maybe if I knew somebody very close to me, like I would want them to have a dog so I could play with it whenever I wanted, but not have that full responsibility,
So you wish your dog had a dog
Yeah.
that
That
would be
he
your
could take
granddog.
care of and I
So
didn't have to take care of
He
it.
takes care of like 95% of it, and you just get to see it like once a week and play with it.
Yeah, but then where would my dog go? He would always be with that dog.
Well, Brittany also
Yeah,
has this
I wouldn't
weird
worry
thing.
about this. I don't think you got genuinely sad there.
Yeah,
Like, well, where would my dog go? This is not really. gonna
I
happen.
haven't
Most
really. Yeah, I think Raul's about to bring.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
and so
My
Brittany has this weird
insanity up.
thing where she doesn't want her mom. Her mom is like very like high OCD, and she doesn't like dogs. But I feel like Brittany would be very bummed if she did, because she has this high jealousy with her mom. So if her mom liked Ender, she would feel like left out. I think.
Yeah.
Is that do you feel that's accurate?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I think she likes him the appropriate amount, which is like she thinks it's fine to look at him, and she doesn't really want to interact with him. But I also said that I would be really pissed if my sister had a kid or if I had a kid, because I would be jealous of either of those kids and the attention that my mom would give it, which I know is insane because I'm like I am an adult. But yeah,
Yeah,
I just
you're like in your 30s, right?
yeah.
And
Okay.
I do like that because I think your therapist nailed it. Where I think there was a point where your therapist was like, "You don't want a baby, you want to be the baby."
Wait,
Yeah.
were you in the therapy session?
I told him about it. I can't remember what he was talking about. But yeah, he said something about he's like, no, it's because you want to be the baby. And I was like, I am the baby. I don't want to be the baby. I am the baby. God damn
So
it.
you threw a tantrum, basically.
Started crying.
Yeah.
Raul,
Essentially.
I really appreciate how you have no limits on what you will share of other people's
Even if it's
personal
not
information.
technically legal.
It's like
Listen,
you just, without pausing for a second, you're like, oh yeah, let me recall this story of Brittany and her therapist.
I'm starting to go
a
through
conversation with you. Something that happened with her therapist.
I'm starting to go
You
through
just
everything
drop-
I've told Raul, and I'm like, oh God, what did I share
It'll
with this
come up.
man? No.
He'll bring it
come
up
up.
if he
Oh,
can
yeah.
think of it.
listen, you told me you were on tour, and I brought that up.
Yeah.
And now you're saying I lied.
I guess
But I got
now
the proof
evidence
right here,
is
I think.
you don't even have to tell him things. And he'll
Yeah, he just
Make things
just
up.
so you were on the road, right? Like, what? I didn't
yeah,
I
I don't know.
didn't
I
say
guess,
that.
yeah.
Well, we could talk shit
Doesn't
about
matter.
Raul. He just got his car broken into, so
Yeah, you fucking
Whoa,
loser.
Yeah.
really?
yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
Whoa, what a dork, dude. Nerd.
Yeah, it's pathetic.
Well, because he didn't lock. Okay, so here's the shitty part about it is
Mhm.
because like 2 days prior, it was parked out front of our house. He forgot to lock the car door and somebody had rummaged through it. Nothing got taken. Cool. Then 2 days later, he's like, oh no, I got all this shit stolen from my car. And I was like, oh, did you lock your car door? And he's like, I think I forgot. So
And then actually the day before that, I had lost my wallet, like for a little bit. And I mean, that part was lucky because I ended up like someone had found it on the ground and put it on Brittany's door handle. And so I was looking through her like car and I couldn't find it. But then I eventually walking over to the driver's side, it was like stuck like between the door handle. So that's lucky,
Oh.
but it's just a lot of complicated shit happening. But
yeah, one good deed, but
yeah, but just I still got fucked over. And it was
Did they take anything out of your car?
not those times, but once the last time they did, they took a lot of like tripods and like video equipment that I kind of need, like
Ooh,
a
that
steady
sucks.
cam tripod, monopod. The big ass case is worth money by itself, so it's like
Yeah.
a pretty good amount of money, and it's like they have to figure out.
Okay, I don't want to circle back to this, but I feel like the wallet story was just kind of an excuse to get away from the fact that your car got broken into because you left the door open. Somebody got in, looked through your stuff, and didn't take anything. For most people, that might be like a slightly traumatic experience. Like, this feels so violating. I mean, even though I didn't get robbed, it's like somebody was in my personal space because I forgot to lock the door. I'm never going to let that happen again. And then 48 hours later, you had thousands of dollars of video equipment in your car and left it unlocked on the street.
there's another layer to this also, because
Can I defend myself first, or is this?
No.
just wait.
Okay.
Because even before the first time that his car got rummaged through and nothing was taken, our roommate Stephanie, her car got rummaged through maybe like a few months ago and nothing was taken. So that is like another thing that should have just been, hey, lock your car doors, because people walk around and they try door handles in our neighborhood sometimes.
Right. Also,
Yeah.
I just want to point out, you shouldn't need to learn this lesson. It's like very easy to lock your door. And I've never in my life just left my door to my car unlocked, let alone doing it all the time to where I need to remind myself, like, I got to start locking the door to my car.
And
Never
and
come up.
every time he went to go look for his wallet in my car, he would come back and I would be like, oh, did you lock my car door? And he almost seemed annoyed that I was asking him. Like, he was like, yeah. And I was
Yes.
like, well, okay.
Okay.
No,
Now,
so
what did you
will
have to say?
typically, of course, I'll lock my door, usually, but
It doesn't
in
seem
this
like it, so I don't know why you say,
Yeah, okay.
of
they
course.
caught me
Go
2
on.
out of 2 times I didn't do it ever in my life.
Right.
These are the only 2 times that it happened,
Okay.
and they caught me, So, but
Bad luck.
so I caretake for Vince, and like I have to. A lot of times I'm bringing him food and coffee and all this other shit.
Now it's
Yeah.
touching and
Yeah, as a caretaker, as someone who caretakes for and cares for this person, and I'm buying.
By the
their
way,
stuff, and
caretaking for Vince is just getting him booze and emptying his pee bag. I've done it too. You're not caring for a person. You're just watching someone die of alcoholism in a wheelchair is what caretaking for Vince is.
Right,
Yeah,
and
I don't
but he
want
also
any
brings
listeners to
coffee
feel like,
sometimes,
You're actually
Raul is
committing
like a
murder.
hospice nurse. Like Raul is such a giving person that he would donate his time to take care of this poor man. Like, Vince is just a guy we know who happens to be in a wheelchair, and you just get drunk with him all the time. It's not really. Yeah, you're not really a hero. No offense.
I take care of his soul, Just want to make sure he's doing good.
You are fucking up. You're doing a very bad job.
But the point being that I was carrying a bunch of shit, and I just, you do that thing where like I went inside to drop everything off, and I just forgot to fucking beep. That's all.
Oh man, because I have a dog that I bring back and forth, and like I'll have him in my hands, and I'll have a lot of shit like groceries and stuff. Somehow, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I never considered, what if you had to carry something from your car? Then I would leave it locked. Naturally, if that ever happened to me in my life, I would have to leave it unlocked. But luckily, it's never come up.
Yeah. Joe, have you ever had a car broken into or had anything stolen from you or anything like that?
No, I always remember locking my car door. I'm very paranoid. Although there's nothing in my car that someone could steal. There's like a box of tissues in there and a bunch of expired registration, paperwork. So if they could do something with that, they could have it. But they'd be pretty bummed if they broke into my car. It'd be a waste of their time, honestly.
I don't think I've even ever had anything stolen from me. I don't think.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, not that I can. And after like all these years going out, I've never lost my cell phone. Nothing like that at all. It's pretty impressive.
That's very surprising. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
One time I dropped it in a bush, but they called me the next day and they said that they found my phone. So that was nice.
So you did lose it then.
Yeah, but I got it back. But I've never like permanently lost a phone or anything like that after going out. Like you have those friends who they have had to replace their phone like 10 times because they're always losing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not me.
Yeah, people who are incapable of learning a lesson under any circumstances.
Can you imagine
Like,
being that person?
I can't. I mean, I can't think of anyone that I know like that, but I guess those people are out there.
Look, I think it's easier to lose a phone when you're out drunk than it is to forget to lock your car door sober or drunk. No,
I can't wait to see just a stranger rummaging through Raul's room right now in the background.
Just in the background, you can just see him just.
Yeah, you
I forgot to lock my room door.
I forgot I left all the doors in my house wide open.
Oh my God, you did the other day. You came home. I was sitting on the couch. And I had headphones on and I was working on my laptop. And then Stephanie came home and she was like, "Is Raul here?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And she was like, "Oh, the door was open." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't even realize because I had my headphones on when he came home. So you just left the door open." She said I could have been kidnapped.
Yeah.
And then somebody could have brought me to their parents as their new baby and made their life.
Although I guess in Raul's defense, he probably was carrying something. So you can't really expect him to go back
I
and
was
close
probably
the
holding
door.
Food and chips and coffee.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad the dogs didn't run away.
Yeah.
He was carrying a Bible that he was reading to Vince earlier because he cares so much about him.
Yeah. How many times did you like call Vince during COVID when nobody could go see him, Raul?
But he was in my thoughts.
That's really nice.
All right.
Yeah, that counts.
It's kind of beautiful.
And that's coming from somebody who would never talk to somebody on the phone, like under any circumstances.
For whatever reason, yeah, Brittany is not a phone talker, but she has been getting more calls than anyone that I know as of lately, where friends just want to chit chat with her.
I've gotten roped into 2 phone conversations. So one of my friends called me and we talked for over an hour because I kept saying like, "Hey, I'm really hungover, so I'm going to hang up the phone because I need to go throw up." And she was like, "Oh, no, it's cool. Like, just throw up while I'm on the phone and I'll just keep telling you my story." So I was like, fuck, I don't know what to do. And it was true. I wasn't even lying, but I was just like, I'm not going to do that. So I just kind of held it back. But yeah. And then Caitlin called me one night at 3 a.m. to talk about her roommate. So
yeah, well, she didn't even get all of that out because she still needed to tell me about it when I was up there
That's right. Yeah, she
good
has
hour
someone to
in
vent
person.
to. See, this is what I'm talking about, Jake. Why weren't you there for your friend? You were in the same city.
I was
Also,
there
maybe
in
go out and
person,
have a drink
face to
sometime
face
with
with
her.
her while she was talking, and we were drinking at a bar. All right, you know what? Whatever. Let's do reviews.
Okay. Are we doing? We're doing reviews.
Yeah, let's do some reviews.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Raul, why don't you go first?
All right. This is a short review for Rite Aid. Friendly staff, but just needs to clean the restroom. I slid on some urine and had to throw away my clothes. But what I like about that is because
I don't think you need to explain why you liked that one.
because there's
I mean, it's
some,
one of those comical physical acts I could think of. It's
yeah, exactly.
falling
Just-
down and landing in human piss. It
And then they have to
doesn't
throw
really
away
need
the
an
clothes.
explanation.
Would you guys?
Yeah, also the review, he sounds like he took it like a champ almost, you know, like, hey man, slipped on some piss, had to change my clothes. 1 star, I'm leaving it at that. All right.
Friendly staff.
Yeah, most people wouldn't have the dignity to mention how friendly the staff are if their main focus was how they slipped on piss in the bathroom and fell down and had to throw away their clothes.
Would you
That
guys?
would be what I would remember about it.
Would you throw your clothes away as opposed to just washing them?
I mean, if it was like drenched in piss, I would probably throw them away. You know, like if it was
Yeah.
like really bad. If it was just kind of wet, I'd be like, oh fuck, I just gotta go home and change. But if it's like, you know, my whole back is wet, then yeah, I might throw it away. But then, you know, I'm not gonna go outside with shirtless though. So yeah, I don't know.
I would try to pretend it's my own pee. If I couldn't do that, I would throw them away.
Just to yourself, you would try to pretend.
Yeah,
like,
I'd be like, no, it was me who pissed the back of my shirt. And then if I couldn't believe myself, then I'd toss it.
I feel like Jake's getting ready to say he would throw it away, but you only own like 2 shirts, so you gotta be like
I have
really.
a lot of shirts.
Oh,
I got a lot of shirts.
because they
okay?
look all like the one that you're wearing.
They all have an American flag on them. I don't think
Why
so.
well, they're
Whoa.
all that color.
That is not a good look for you, dude. You can't be bald and wear an American flag to places.
Well, that's why I'm inside. I don't wear this out.
But-
This was a gift. I'm just gonna say that. Maybe I forgot we were recording.
Oh, is there a picture of your nephew on the back or what?
Not every gift I've ever received has a picture of my nephew on it. Only gifts I've received in the last 2 years all have pictures of my nephew. Since he was born, everything I get from my parents has to involve him in some way. But if your clothes are so screwed up that you have to throw them away, you're not also like, I would never go home in those clothes and then throw them out. Like if you make it home, I'll just wash them. But if they're so ruined that you need to throw them away like immediately, I don't know what you do because they don't sell clothes in Rite Aid.
I feel like they sell those like weird T-shirts and maybe like some like cargo shorts at the front. They have like a weird.
You know what they have? They probably have Snuggies. I bet
Oh.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My shirt is ruined with piss, so let me go home in this Snuggie. I got to take a bus home wearing a Snuggie and nothing else.
Yeah, if they're not friendly enough to give you a Snuggie for free, then not super friendly staff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this
you could
person
probably
could've
haggle the
seen-
price. Yeah, you could probably haggle the price of the Snuggie down, you know.
Oh, I'm sure you get at least 15% off.
Yeah, the piss discount.
I feel like you could probably sue Rite Aid if their bathrooms are in such disrepair that you slip and fall. And you could
Yeah.
claim like mental anguish or something like that.
Yeah,
Well,
cut to the courtroom and it's a guy in a Snuggie being like, "I'll represent myself, Your Honor. Thank you very much."
You could definitely see them. Our friend Stephanie was telling us, I think it was Stephanie was telling us a story about how, because her mom used to manage a Denny's, I think, a couple was in a fight and the girl dumped her shake on her boyfriend and then got off to storm away to the bathroom, slipped on the shake that she poured on the person, and then sued Denny's because they didn't put a wet floor sign up fast enough.
That's nuts.
Now, did she win?
Yeah. See? It's just like the person who won the Red Bull lawsuit because they thought they could fly because it says it gives you wings. Like you can win any stupid fucking lawsuit like that.
Yeah. I think a lot of companies and businesses have that like insurance in place, like, because just not to do court battles like this, where it's like, all right, just take this money and go away, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably more what it was with the. I mean, maybe she won in open court. I don't know, but I can't imagine actually being awarded for slipping on your own shake but yeah, if they're just like, anyone who tries to sue us, whatever, we'll just pay them off. That's probably what
I'm
it is.
just thinking, our friend Ricky should have definitely sued Denny's because he's
Oh my
eaten
God.
shit there so hard going into the bathroom.
Oh, no.
Oh, I thought you were
Yeah.
going to talk about.
What?
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, they had
well-
just mopped the floor, or was it you, Raul?
I was there for this. Yeah, the
But
thing we were
did
thinking
you
of.
fall or did he?
No, it was Ricky.
Oh, yeah. They had just mopped the floors on the way to the bathroom, and he fell on his back going into the bathroom and on his back coming out.
But just to he actually was pretending to slip on his way to the bathroom, like oh, what if I slip? Oh, what if I? And then he did really bad. It
Yeah, it was really
was
bad.
very funny.
Yeah.
That rocks.
What did-
Okay. The story I thought you were going to tell, I don't think this actually happened at Denny's, but this did happen to Ricky. He was at a restaurant and he got water, and they brought him a pitcher of water, and he started drinking it, and he's like, this tastes really weird. But he didn't want to say anything, and he was with his girlfriend, and she like made him say something. And then the waitress came back and was like, oh yeah, I guess we didn't clean all the bleach out of this pitcher before we gave it to you.
Or it
I'll
was
get
like
you
the
another one.
water from the thing that they were using to clean stuff. It wasn't even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like there was a
Oh.
cleaning solution in the pitcher of water, and didn't get an apology, didn't get anything. Just like, okay, I'll get you another thing of water. It's like I also didn't get like a free meal out of it. They poisoned him. Could have sued that place for every single penny they had, and rightly so, because they tried to poison him. And he was just like, no, I don't want to make a big deal out of it. He's too
It's
nice.
very nice of him.
With
Yeah.
He's
stuff
too
like-
nice.
With stuff like that, though, I wonder if it's just like their word against yours, like how you go about that. Because Raul drank that drink at a bar that had glass in it, and the owner was just like, "No, it didn't." So then, what do you do? I don't
Pretty
know.
good defense.
But what's crazy is that those two of us where that happened to. So it was like I had, drinking my glass, or they had drinking their drink, and it was like, and he was like, "There's glass in this," and I was like, "What? That's crazy!" And I take a drink of mine, there's fucking shards of glass in my mouth, and we both kind of like spit it out, and then the manager was like listening to us, and then she was like, "Oh, so you're saying that he had glass in his drink, and suddenly you did?" And we're like, "Yeah, that's exactly what happened. That is what we're saying. Absolutely." And it's just like they were just like not having it, and I don't know if like they didn't believe us, but we definitely later, they gave us the bill, or like they gave me the bill, and I was like, "Can I get just like a drink comped off of this bill just because of the whole glass situation?" And they were like, "No, we can't do that." So it was
Nice.
the whole fucking, and I now mentioned it's like, this is crazy. Like, I could totally like, sue you or something. Like, this is a lawsuit type of situation. And then they were like, "Oh, our someone we know tried that and didn't work out for that." So
Someone we know who also had
so
glass.
this is a common thing that happens.
Yeah.
They didn't
didn't-
win, so good luck
It
to
didn't
you.
work out for that. Sounds like a threat.
Yeah.
It didn't work out for them. You
Anyway,
want to
go
eat some
there.
glass? Oh, you'll eat some glass if you try and sue our asses.
I go there every
We're gonna
Friday.
kill you.
So
Yeah, what
So-
bar is this?
this
No,
is,
you should probably shouldn't.
Why
I don't.
not?
That could be slander. I mean, we could get sued.
all that did happen though.
True. It's not going to work out very well for you if you do.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a review for lactate-free milk. So if you are lactose intolerant, you can buy milk that is lactose-free. And it says, okay, it's a 1-star review. It says, okay, this is the grossest thing I've ever consumed, and I've chewed Tylenol before. Unless you actually need this because of dietary restrictions, I strongly urge you to reconsider buying the devil's milk. I am praying for you. But I was wondering, I was like, okay, because people chew aspirin sometimes, right? Like if you're having a heart attack or something. But
Yeah.
I was Googled chewing Tylenol, and it was like, under no circumstances should you ever do that. So like,
That's I have never heard of anyone chewing Tylenol. I mean, I guess any pill you could bite into.
But that's
theoretically,
not like a fun one that you want to get into your system sooner.
Yeah, it's not Adderall or something.
Yeah.
Also, hey, lactose-free milk. It's actually pretty good.
I've heard that it tastes
It
Good.
tastes better than regular milk, I think. But
I read some reviews that said it didn't have a great mouth feel.
ugh, gross word.
I hate that description of anything when people talk about
Yeah.
the mouth feel of something.
What does that even mean?
Just like how it feels in your
Feels
mouth.
in your mouth?
Yeah, like people were like, it's too thick.
Ironically, the word mouthfeel has a terrible mouthfeel. I don't like saying it, and I don't like hearing it. It's
Yeah.
disgusting.
I mean, I've thrown up Tylenol before. We all know what that tastes like. But to like almost brag
you?
about it in a review. You've never thrown up Tylenol? Oh, you don't really throw up very
I'm not
often.
a throw upper guy.
Yeah.
Jake, have you thrown up Tylenol?
I mean, maybe as like a child, but I can't
Oh.
remember ever doing that as an adult.
Joe?
No, cherry flavored Benadryl. I'd always puke up. I couldn't handle
Okay,
it.
that makes more sense. That I
Yeah.
can,
I just throw up a lot, I guess. I could tell you how a lot of things
Yeah, what's your
taste after
favorite thing
throwing
to
them
throw up?
Yeah,
My
that's a
least-
great question.
I was talking
Your
about
most
this
favorite.
with someone the other day. My least
No,
favorite
I want to
thing
hear both.
throw up.
I want to
is-
hear best and worst things to throw up.
Okay, worst, grossest is ice cream. It's
Really?
because if you throw it up soon after eating it, it's still cold, and it's just really gross. Most
That's a
painful thing to
super
throw up
strange.
is hot Cheetos. That hurts. I don't think I have a favorite thing to throw up. Just
Oh,
water.
simply water. I mean, I guess if you had to give something, because you've thrown up probably the most of anybody I've ever met who doesn't have bulimia, there's got to be something that's more pleasant than other food.
I mean, honestly, it's just when it's all liquid and there isn't any food coming with it. That's the best throw up, you know?
Are
Maybe
you
like a
guys
fruit smoothie.
are you guys loud when you throw up?
Question.
Raul never hears me when I throw up, but sometimes our friend comes over and after we've been drinking, she has thrown up in our bathroom and he can hear her. So I think I'm not loud.
Okay.
But to be fair, she is very loud.
I'm a ninja puker. You
Oh,
can't
yeah?
hear me at all.
Yeah, I can imagine.
really?
Yeah. One time I was in
Yeah.
a van with a bunch of friends. I was on the floor of the van and I had a backpack. I had to throw up and I didn't want to make a thing. So I just opened the backpack and just puked into it. And I looked up like somebody was going to, and no one even noticed that I did anything. I was like, all right, well, that's a talent that I have now, I guess. I don't know how to fight crime with this, but I'll figure it out.
Did you tell
I mean,
anyone at
you're
all?
Yeah, I told them afterwards, like, you guys really didn't see me or hear me throwing up into that backpack? And they're like, no, that's disgusting. What's the matter with you?
I know one other person with this talent, which I think I've told this on here before, but our friend Stephanie, she used to do this a lot. And it's just because we would drink a lot of liquid, like she would drink beers and then we would take a shot and it would just be too much liquid for her. So we would be talking at a bar and then she would just kind of go and duck for a second and then come back up and continue the conversation. And I would be like, did you just throw up? And she's like, yeah. And like you literally like couldn't unless I knew that she did that, like you would never have known. I was
Where did
really
she throw
impressed
up?
by it. Under the bar.
Okay.
Yeah, listen, when you
Kinda
quietly
gross.
puke, you could just do it anywhere. No one's gonna know, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it was a place
so
that we
true.
went to every single week. So they were eventually like, girl, you gotta stop doing that.
I think that would take me about 1 week of that happening.
Well, maybe I don't know if they always knew it was her. I'm not sure.
God, imagine
right.
being like, like maybe the janitor there or just someone who cleans up and there's just always, vomit every time. And you're just like, who is this?
Yeah,
Who
how's this-
keeps doing this? It's just a mystery to you. Like, there's nothing but like, pretty girls here. Who's doing this?
The most annoyed I've ever been at our friend Caitlin was this one guy that we know. he was really drunk and he took a shot and he threw up back into his shot glass. And he was so drunk that he didn't realize that he did that. So he went to go take the shot again and she stopped him from doing it. And I was like so pissed that she did that because that would have been hilarious.
So I assume when he threw up, it went like all over his arm and everything.
I
Right?
don't know. That's the weird
Just
thing.
threw up
Just-
exactly one shot's worth.
Because I don't
1
recall there
ounce.
being puke anywhere else. That would have been gross. But I just remember there being puke in the shot glass.
Did you hate this guy?
No, I don't even hate him. It was just,
Okay.
it's just, you know how there's that friend that you have where it's like, that would just be funny if he did that, you know?
I think I would be pretty upset if someone let me do a shot. Okay, you know what? This is a very gross
an adult.
episode.
No, but it's not like somebody was like suggestive of like, hey, you forgot to take that shot. He was going, all of it was happening just by himself. So it wasn't one of those things where it was like
Right.
somebody jokingly put alcohol in your drink when you didn't drink. You know what I mean? There was no intervention involved where I had to feel like really bad that somebody did something to him. He did it all to himself. And that's why I was like, oh,
Sure.
come on.
Yeah. Hey, can you guys hold on a second?
Grown up.
Oh, man.
Oh, you all
Hey,
good?
just-
You take
Oh,
a
yeah.
sip of water? Or?
Yeah, no worries. I just saw a thing over there. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, well, you know what? Now that we've really wrapped up the topic of vomiting uptight, let's talk about food.
Mm.
All right, this is a review for a restaurant called Dong-A Korean in Oklahoma City. 1 star. Do not eat here. Food was bland at best and customer was horrible. I'll walk you through our experience. We arrive, and the smaller of the 2 waitresses, the way this person writes is so funny to me. We arrive, and the smaller of the 2 waitresses tells us, sit here. Like my wife, 2 sons, and family friend are dogs. I ask if we can start with some yaki, and she says, I ask for drinks. Okay. We order drinks. She takes about 15 minutes to bring our drinks, and then another 15 minutes to bring a few lemons for my wife's tea. Apparently, this was a major ordeal, and the staff had to send out a search party for them. After close to 30 minutes, we finally order. 20 minutes later, we get our appetizer, followed by our food immediately after that. That is why we tried to order our appetizer first. We get the rice about 5 minutes later, followed by the sides another 5 to 10 minutes later. There's a lot of timeline stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I am, if we could have 3 more chopsticks, and the waitress, in a condescending manner, says that they are in our napkins. They are in mine and my wife's napkins, but not in my son's and our family friends. I mentioned this to her, and maybe they only give chopsticks to adults in Korea, and we weren't aware of this rule. Apparently, this Caucasian waitress was. Caucasian waitresses was. We wound up paying over $85 for 4 meals and an appetizer that had no flavor. The sides tasted like nothing but vinegar. The food had 0 flavor. I've been around Koreans my entire life, and this was not authentic Korean food. If you want good Korean food, go to the Junction or Nami's in Lawton.
Where did you say this review was from? Like what city?
Oklahoma City.
And they've been around Koreans their entire
Their
life?
whole life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've been around Koreans my whole life.
Yeah, Koreatown in Oklahoma City is just a house where a Korean family lives.
Okay, so one of the many, many things about this that stuck out to me is that the sides tasted like vinegar. I would really like to know what they're eating that tastes just like vinegar.
I mean, did they get kimchi? Because I feel like that would make sense.
Kimchi's a
Maybe
little
they don't-
vinegary. Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't mention it.
Mm. I don't think we'll
Only
ever
how
know.
long this single dish took.
That's too bad. But so the way they write it is like, I am, if we could have 3 more chopsticks, and the waitress, and then they do quotes, in a condescending manner, end quote, says that they are in our napkins. So they do quotation marks for the way that she says something, but then immediately after they quote her and they don't use quotation marks.
Yeah.
Horrible writing.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that they are in the napkins. Except
Yeah.
for
She says they're in our napkins.
napkins.
And they are.
They're right.
However,
them not putting it in the kids' napkins. A lot of kids don't know how to use chopsticks, man. They
Yeah,
use
that's a good
forks, So I don't know.
yeah, it doesn't say that like they refused to give them chopsticks afterwards. They just pointed out, hey, you actually already have chopsticks, which I gotta say that's really on the customer and not the waitress. If you're demanding chopsticks while you have them.
Raul doesn't know how to use chopsticks.
That's not true. I do. Kind of
No, you
enough.
Prove it.
God. I don't have any right now, but next time.
Eat rice in front of us.
Yeah,
right now.
Just gotta,
Yeah, I was actually just kidding, but I like how it made you feel self-conscious enough to be like, I guess, I mean, I kind of think I do.
I'd like to think, I use my left hand. I know you're not supposed to do that, but like, it's just my stronger hand.
Yeah, you hit on something he's obviously very sensitive about.
Yeah.
His use of chopsticks.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that. I do like that they had to be like, hey, by the way, like at the end, by the way, I've been around Koreans. Okay. Like, just so you know, I've plenty of Koreans in my day. All right. And I just,
like, I'm
my
sure
grandfather murdered a lot of them. All right.
Yeah.
So we know.
Yeah. They're like, I'm sure if you're reading this review, you're probably thinking this guy's probably not been around very many Koreans. However, let me tell you something. I've been around Koreans my whole life in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Didn't they say the waitresses were Caucasian though?
Yeah, they did.
The smaller of the two waitresses.
That was the fun part. The smaller of the two.
And he is clearly very offended that one of the waitresses says, sit here. Like,
oh yeah,
they're seating you. That's part of going into a restaurant.
What would they have rather
them
them said? Like,
please take a seat. Well, I would imagine that they were Korean waitresses and English is their second language. And it's really hard to use a lot more than just like the basic words. If I was speaking another language, I would say sit here in that language because I wouldn't, really know how to spice up a sentence.
I would just gesture like,
Yeah.
Jake would never learn the language.
Well, I mean, I would like practice it a lot, but I don't think I would ever have the confidence to just speak to another fluent speaker and just tell them what to do. I would always defer, like, oh, yes, sir, like whatever, as little words as I could get out of my mouth as possible. That would be my move.
I just hate when people get pissed about things like that when people are ESL because I'm like, you only know one language, motherfucker. So what are you even complaining about? Like, it's always those people.
And judging by the review, not that well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Actually, it's funny. The way they wrote sounded like a Korean angrily typing, to be honest with you.
I did think they were going to be foreign. Yeah. What a twist.
Well, good
Joey from Moore, Oklahoma.
You're really branching out where you're getting your reviews from. Was that a city you were considering?
Yeah, I knew it was either going to be Portland, Oregon, Madison, Wisconsin, or Oklahoma City.
But you're like, there's too many Koreans. Never heard. No thanks.
Yeah. If this guy can be around them his whole life, they must have quite a few. I usually just pick a type of business and then a random city in the US or Canada.
Raul likes to look up like top 50 reviews.
That's only if I'm in a bind.
Yeah. And then I'm like, huh, I think I saw this on like a Reddit post somewhere.
Yeah, how do you guys find your
Ooh.
reviews?
I just
Yeah.
I just find something random to look up and
Just randomly?
Yeah, if I have the
Yeah.
time, yeah, I'll just randomize it. But if I'm like I got nothing, and then we have to record in 20 minutes, then I'm like, yeah, you bet your ass I'm gonna be like funnyreviews.com or some bullshit like that. You know?
it's so cheap. It's so cheap, Raul.
That's cheating.
I mean,
Yeah.
listen,
That
yeah,
is
but-
cheating.
No, I
100%.
know, but
Sometimes you
know,
get lucky.
I very rarely have done that.
Yeah.
But but a couple times where I'm like, I have absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Sometimes you get lucky, you find like some really quickly, and then sometimes it takes hours when you do it the right way.
The correct way, the honorable way.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna review who
Yeah, I
this
mean,
review is for. Mike Hess Brewing in Imperial Beach. It's a 1-star review. Says, as our food arrived, the servers picked up our trash without even advising us. My husband had some gold grills inside a napkin on top of his phone. As a server, you're supposed to advise your guest or ask them, "Can I take this trash for you?" They never said shit. They just grabbed it. Once they left, my husband noticed his napkin was gone. I went to go look for the kid who took our food and trash, and I told him what had happened. He couldn't find my husband's grill. So I went to talk to the manager because I was irritated, and it didn't seem as if anything was getting solved. And on top of that, my food was getting cold. So I told him I wasn't paying for anything because they're the ones who caused this issue. As I was getting my items removed from the bill, I asked him what was going to happen with the jewelry, as it was $1,000. And he's like, "What? You expect me to pull out $1,000 and just give it to you? No, you dumb fuck. I need the missing item your employee misplaced." So he gave me some stupid business card with an email on it. And I went back to tell my husband, and he had to intimidate the manager to fix the issue. So finally, he's like, "Fine, I'm going to go through all the trash." Not even 5 minutes passed, and they found the grills. If they would have done this in the beginning, they wouldn't have lost money on our $150 tab with a tip.
A guy who wears a grill, I would think he would be able to scare them into doing whatever they
Yeah.
wanted.
Yeah. If you're the type of
but-
person that, wears a grill, and also, can we just agree that like
$1,000.
grills are disgusting?
Well,
Just-
also it's like people need to take grills more seriously and be responsible with their grills. I don't think that's
That's what
taught
I
in
was
schools or
thinking.
anything.
you should have a grill case.
Yeah, when
you
someone
know?
sells you a grill, they should be like, "Listen, man, read the owner's manual. All right, make sure it's always within eyesight."
Yeah, I have a mouth guard, cost a fraction of the price, and my dentist gave me very clear instructions about the case, about not leaving it out because dogs like to eat mouth guards, about how to wash it, all of these things. I would never put a mouth guard and a napkin on a table at a restaurant. And no, you don't have to ask permission to take somebody's crumpled up trash. Could you imagine if you're eating out and every time you have trash, so they're like, "Can I take this? Oh, can I take this? Oh, can I take this?" Like, what planet?
Yeah, I think it's probably on you for having $1,000 piece of jewelry. Well, first of all, for having $1,000 grill in the first place, absolutely insane. I cannot imagine why you would do that. But if you do, and then you go to a restaurant with it, and then you wrap it up in trash and leave it on your table, you know what? If it gets thrown away, that's on you.
That grill should go to a better home.
I agree.
You think? Well, I guess there is a possibility maybe this person was trying to steal their grill. I
To
suppose
sell?
to
'Cause-
sell or to wear.
But it's custom
It's like,
fitted.
there,
Like, who are
I
you?
will.
Gonna,
it's worth a try.
yeah, you
It's
just
$1,000.
your teeth end up shifting just to fit it because you want it that bad.
I was hoping that they weren't going to get the grill back, and it was going to kind of be like a Disney movie, like The Brave Little Toaster, where the grill has to find its way back to the owner or something, and go on this incredible journey. And it gets eaten by a dog at one point, and then all that kind of stuff.
Oh, and then there's like
Yeah.
a funny little shot of the dog with the grill.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
That would be,
yeah.
that'd
This
be
is
cool.
a $1 billion Pixar movie right here.
Dude gets picked up by a homeless guy, runs into some other teeth, some braces on the ground. They become buddies. You know what I mean? Be fun.
I feel like the wife probably hates the grill, but she just doesn't want to tell him. I think she probably wrapped it up in the trash. The waitress took it and she was like, "Thank fucking God." And then she obviously had to like go along with the whole him getting upset thing. And she was like, "Oh yeah, sure." Like, all right. She probably didn't try that hard to get it back. So that's why it took him stepping in to do it. And then he was like, "You're going to write a review about that place, right?" And she's like, "Yeah, for sure." But I think she orchestrated the whole thing.
She was so close.
I know. God, I feel so bad for her.
If only it wasn't so intimidating, that he
Yeah, I
would've-
guess we'll just have to get divorced. Oh well.
Okay, if you guys were super in love with somebody and you were married to them, and then all of a sudden they were like, you know what? I got this grill and I really like it and I'm gonna wear it all the time. Are you gonna divorce them?
I mean, I feel like you would know whether this person is going to eventually get a grill ever.
I
Like
don't
that's
know.
the type of person.
It
And
is,
Dude,
but people
yeah.
change.
I'd be worried that they had like a brain tumor all of a sudden. Be like, why are you making such impulsive decisions with jewelry in your mouth?
Yeah. So, all right. So yeah, in order for the scenario to work, they're in like some sort of industrial accident and they have serious head trauma and they wake up from like a 3-month coma. And once they wake up, they're like, hey, my personality is going to be exactly the same except for one thing. I'm really into grills now.
Yeah.
Then you have to decide, do you still love them? And that's a tough one. Because
But they're super
as-
hot, but they wear it everywhere in public. And nothing's wrong with their brain.
I'd be into it. I mean, it'd be fun to make fun of them. I would find a lot of fun times off that. Yeah.
That's such a
I
glass
guess-
half full thing.
Plus, I mean, every time they smile, I would laugh and giggle. It just looks silly and they're hot. It's just great. I like it.
you'd get a
That's nice.
matching grill, like a his and hers grill.
My last
maybe?
name's Grillo. I can get
Oh
like,
shit!
you know what I mean? Or Jolo. It could be Jolo.
Jolo.
Too. Yeah.
You could even say
GG.
Jolo on the grill.
Then
probably.
on the bottom. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, Brittany, do you
I
want
think
to?
I'd divorce him. Anyway, go on.
Oh, 100%. I don't even know why you were pretending like to consider it. You would divorce
Yeah.
them. Okay. So this is a review for the show Euphoria. If you guys have seen it, it's a great show, but it is a 1-star review. It says, are Hollywood and HBO struggling to get a hold of good writers? The only trick of the bunch of these adolescent writers is to put in images of dicks. That's the only way they feel relevant or edgy. In this world of internet, is anyone watching a full hour's TV for images of dicks or sex? Hello, if we want porn, we can get it easily and swiftly without having to watch garbage for an hour. Wake up. You really need to hire writers whose life isn't only about their dicks or others' dicks. I don't think they do need to hire.
You don't think they do enough dick?
No, I don't think they need to hire new writers. I mean, that don't think about dicks. I love that they show so much dick on that show, not because I like looking at dicks, but because I just feel like it's really even the playing field for all the boobs that you normally see in shows. And I think it's nice.
That is a good point
Yeah.
because HBO is very famous for just showing an insane amount of tits for decades.
Yeah.
Like Game of Thrones. I mean, there was probably like 2 dicks on that show ever, and there were probably 6,000 boobs on it. But yeah, it is interesting that this person probably because I have not seen Euphoria, but I understand that there are tits in it as well.
Yeah,
don't
but
see them
the
complaining about
ratio
that.
is more dick to boob,
Yeah,
which is
I think it's
unusual.
two dicks to every pair of boobs. So I guess one dick for
Wow.
every one boob. But yeah,
Have you seen it, Raul?
I have seen the first season so far. Yes, I'm about to start the second season. So.
Well, I'll just spoil some things about the second season for you. More dicks in the second
Oh my god! More than we've already seen. God damn,
Yeah.
it's got a bit of dicks. Okay,
Mhm.
all right.
So they didn't like all the dicks. They had a problem with the dicks.
Well, they were just like, that's cheap and petty, and you can just watch porn online if you want to. And it's like,
I mean, no one's watching. I feel like most people are not watching, including women. Most people are not watching porn for the dicks.
Yeah.
Like it's very well, unless you're our friend who looks on leakedmeat.com.
oh, yeah.
It's one of the few people that I
Yeah.
know will go out of her way to see some celebrity dick. But
Oh, so that was like celebrity fap dick.
or it's like just any movie that this celebrity was in.
Or
know,
if there was just
it's
like
a
a
search
picture
engine.
of them on the beach somewhere that someone took in their day. So she'll
Right.
always be like,
Right.
oh, do you think blah, blah, blah is on Leaked Meat? And sometimes I'm like, yeah, maybe. But sometimes it's somebody like, so like, do you think, like Christopher Walken is on Leaked? And I'm like, no, I don't think someone like that. I mean, that's not a good example, but someone so like
Sure.
clearly would never have a picture of their dick out there anywhere. And she's like, I'm gonna check anyway. And I'm like, all right, man, you do.
Yeah. And it doesn't. I'm very curious about what she feels when she does discover, oh, this person's dick is available for me to see, because she doesn't ever seem like, oh hell yeah, I saw this guy's dick. I don't know if she's excited by it or it's just like,
What it just seems
check.
very scientific. Where she's like, oh, okay, that's that celebrity's dick. All right.
Maybe she's OCD, and that acronym could stand for anything in this situation. So
That's true.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess it could be. It could be that. I don't know, but yeah, I can't imagine, unless you're horny for dicks, which I'm sure a lot of people are. I don't understand why you would want to go out of your way to like seek pictures of them, because they're just not very attractive, I don't think.
Well, no, but is the type of person who like if any man that she meets, she wonders what their dick looks like, and it like she just is so like dumbfounded with how a penis on a body works and is and sits and how it exists on a man, and like it's like almost all she can think about, I feel like, and it's not in a horny way for sure.
Right. So yeah, it's like the kind of attitude toward penises that you might expect maybe a 13 or 14-year-old girl to have, just like general curiosity about them. But she's
Right, but not
32.
a woman in her 30s.
Who's been in multiple relationships with men, seen plenty of men naked online and in person, still can't dial in to what is a dick and what do they look like and how do they work. It's elusive.
But
Joe, what does your dick look like and how does it work?
yeah,
Great question.
I mean, look, here's the thing. I'll answer you, but I don't want to ruin your podcast here. So
no worries on that.
Well, we should get your friend on here actually if we're gonna.
Yeah, that's true. If we are going to have an episode where someone shows their dick, she should be here. It would be very
unfair.
rude.
Yeah.
for
Well,
us
it's
not to include
recorded.
her.
We can just show her later with your permission.
Yeah. You can put me on Leaked Meat next to Christopher Walken, a little
Yeah.
split
Yep.
screen. That'd be pretty tight. My dick asking his dick for an autograph or something. That'd be cool.
Your dick just doing an impression of his dick. So I'm going to start wrapping up here. Joe, is there anything you want to plug before we sign off?
Well, apparently I'm on the road, so go check me out.
Yeah, check out his tour dates, baby.
Wherever, yeah. Fuck it. No, nothing. I got nothing. Whatever. Check out my dick sometime, I guess, everybody. If you want
That's
to.
an excellent plug right there.
Right.
Check out my dick.
That should have been your catchphrase, Jake. That could have been your closing
Yeah.
catchphrase.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I screwed up.
All right, do follow us
But yeah,
on.
we'll get to mine.
Yeah, we'll figure
Go
it out. Do follow us on Instagram at Zero If I Could podcast. Please do subscribe. We also have a Patreon now available. It's patreon.com/Zero If I Could. Follow me personally at Raoul Z Comedy. Brittany, where can they find you?
At Bitchney H, and we should probably say thank you to our first Patreon subscriber, right?
Yes. Thank you to our first
to
Patreon.
whoever
It may
that
be.
anonymous subscriber is.
Yes, I put
We
there.
thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're really thankful you did that.
Yes.
Yes, it's almost embarrassing when I found out who it was. It's like, this is just another case of his like drunken level of generosity that he always provides. So whoever that anonymous person is, thank you.
What about you,
Anything
Jake?
else?
Yeah.
What was my new catchphrase gonna be from 3 weeks ago that somebody suggested? It was like,
I mean, it's your job to remember these, I feel like.
You said one last episode, and I just listened to it, but I already forgot. So it wasn't great. So
part of my job is to remember things that I said on this podcast. I should be let go right away because every time we record, as soon as the record side is off, it's just completely gone from my mind.
well, you are
So-
fired.
Okay, well, you can't fire me. I quit. There it is.
Okay, and he won't remember
done.
any of this after the episode. Perfect.
Nope.
All right, that has been our show. Thank you guys for listening, and thank you to our guest, Joe Grillo.
Thanks for having me, guys. That
Jolo.
was fun, man.
All right.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I'd give you